Oh man, I just remembered. This is the week we're going to talk about home insurance.
I know.
The only thing more boring than mortgages is talking about insurance. I'm Denise O'Brien. We'll be right back after I wake them up. Get lively here.
Insurance. Insurance.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello, everybody. My name is Barry Horvath, and this is Moving Forward TV with your local market update.
And I am DeLynn Gaston. Thank you for joining us. We are so darn goofy.
I'm so tired. All right, we better get rid of this.
It truly is tired, though.
This is a really nice
I know, it's like
pillow.
way too comfy, isn't it?
No, we got to get it off the show. Uh-oh.
It's safe. That was the Superman pillow, though.
Superman can fly.
He does.
I know. All right, anyway.
We are honored.
We have a special guest this week.
Very special guest.
We have Miss Denise O'Brien, the one and only from Holiday Whitco Insurance.
Yes.
So thanks for joining us and talking about an exciting information. I always say the way to lose more friends is to walk into a room at a party, any gathering for that matter, and say, guess what, everybody? I just got my insurance license.
Right?
And they all go, because they don't want to be sold insurance. But unfortunately, or fortunately, that people need insurance when they're buying a home today. So we're going to talk about some of the flood map changes.
Yes.
We're going to talk about those dreaded electrical panels that you're all worried about, because
I know
our real estate viewers need to know all this stuff.
I was just going to say,
All right, so you guys go on with the show. I'm going to go take my nap, and I'm out.
It probably is. So one of the things, though, that a lot of our real estate professionals have been asking about, and and I know you said everybody says I have my insurance license and they disappear. Mostly that's medical, I think, and life insurance. Everybody always wants to talk to you, right? Yes. Car insurance, house insurance, flood insurance. How do I get my insurance down? I just had an accident. What happened?
Save money. They all want to save money.
I know.
We all want
Denise is excellent with that. Of course, Denise has been a pillar in this community for a long, long time and a dear friend for a long, long time. So we really are honored to have you.
In this community? Come here, let me lay on you for a bit.
Say pillow. But she has a nice, warm, soft shoulder. I'm sure she would spare because she has a big heart.
She does. She does.
Thank you.
But so we do get a lot of questions from the real estate professionals that we do business with, and it all has to do with a lot of the insurance things. Lately, one of the things we've been running a lot into, besides flood, which we talk about a lot as well, the flood map changes that have been happening, but also the electrical panels. It just seems lately that,
they're all coming up.
Yeah.
Every appraiser notes that, what are the two brands? Is it Sylvania?
Sylvania Zinsco, Stablock.
Those are all the no-nos, right?
Those are the no-nos, and there's a few
Wait a
more.
minute. Who names
there's
their
like
company?
a long list.
Who names their company Stablock?
I know. I think they should have a better name.
How old are these panels that have been?
50s and 60s.
Really?
So yes, from the
So
50s
they're
and
older
60s
panels.
and older.
But why is it now all of a sudden they're coming up? Has there been
And this isn't just because it's an FHA loan, perhaps.
No.
This is any
loan?
any insurance,
'Cause
any
we
loan.
need insurance on any loan.
Any insurance.
Yeah,
Yes.
And it's so funny that the real estate professionals
So
love,
it's not
love
our
all you
fault,
guys,
the lenders.
But they all say, oh, it won't go FHA. It has nothing to do with it being FHA. It's that electrical panel. We can't get insurance. And in order to close a loan, you got to have homeowners insurance.
Yes.
So what is it
So
about?
even if they're paying cash.
What?
You're right. You
What is
cannot
it-
get insurance.
What is it about these panels? Has there been some recent disasters? What happens with these particular? You mentioned three of them. What
They were
happens with them?
Claim history. The circuit breakers that are in the panel box, they could shift, which cause an arc in electricity and cause a fire. So you don't want it to burn up. They have so many that have happened, and they track it. So they want to make sure that you replace that you don't have that panel to keep your family safe and your home safe.
Wow. So there's
Scary.
nobody that will underwrite those particular panels anymore.
None.
So when you say they shift, what happens? Like they moved in the box?
Just
I mean,
the circuit
I'm not an
breaker.
electrician.
You know, the circuit breaker that you pull out?
Yes, yes.
You know, there's a specific kind, and they're lined up in there. And one of them can shift, which causes an arc, which causes an electrical fire in the walls.
And we all know
Yes.
insurance is based on risk, and they don't
Right.
want that risk.
They don't want that risk.
So I take it those old-fashioned little knobs,
Oh, no.
the fuses. Oh no, she goes right ahead. One of my houses had that up north. Yeah, one of those little
With the
old-fashioned.
Yes.
The
the little-
screw-in
you
ones.
screw in the.
So true story. My dad had a Western Auto
Fuses.
store.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't real big on new inventory. He had a ton of those things. I'm like, Dad, who buys those? Oh no, people come in for them, and they'd be like, they walk in, they go, "Hey Bob, you got one of these?" And it'd be like that screw in.
He'd know just where it is.
Oh yeah, that's the Zinsco 30 ampere. I got him right over here. Whatever it was, I don't
Fuse.
know. Yeah, fuse.
Yeah, yeah. I did. I had a house with that.
Oh, that's
Yep.
crazy.
Yeah.
And then with also the wiring, the aluminum wiring, if it's a brand that we accept the electric panel box, they will do the aluminum wiring if you have a certified electrician come in and do the copalum connectors so that they're,
Is that a real word? Copalum?
yes.
So what they have to do is they have to actually change out. So my understanding, the aluminum cannot run to the
circuit breaker
To the
box.
circuit breaker.
So is that an easy fix? Is that a hard fix? What?
It takes some time. It's not as expensive as putting in a new panel box. But
And what
it
are we
does
seeing?
need-
I think we've been hearing like 1,500
Yes,
to
yes.
maybe
To
$2,000.
$2,000 for a new panel box,
Yes,
right?
Yes.
But the connector things are
Yeah,
Much
they're less.
simpler.
much less.
So nobody's going to underwrite it with those panels. So if you know, if you take a listing and it has that panel in it, you better prepare your seller that they're going to need to replace
Right.
it
Right.
before we combine insurance.
And there, you said there's more than just those three. There's like a
There's a
handful
list
or
that
so.
are
There's a
getting
list
longer,
that,
yeah.
right, that's getting longer.
Wow.
So, and I would imagine people can contact you for that list, and you'd be happy to share that with
Yes.
them. So that, yeah, if you're taking a listing on or something. And the other thing is, I had somebody take a listing recently and called me, Gail, and she said it's got aluminum wiring. Does that mean we have to replace the entire electrical system in the whole house?
No, the copalum connectors.
We'll take care of
We'll
the,
take care
the
of it.
problem, and then everything's going to be
That's
fine.
interesting. So that's an easier fix then.
Right.
It's only up to the box then is the issue. Is
Correct.
that- okay.
And then once you have your 4-point inspection and they discover that on there, you can have the electrician submit a statement, a signed letter, and we can have that updated, and the companies will accept that.
From the electrician, so
Right.
that we don't have to have a 4-point go back out and show
Correct.
clean. Oh, that's nice. That's good to know.
That is
Okay,
good to
cool.
know.
And I think it's important.
Important.
It's important. It's important. Well, a lot of our viewers are first-time buyers or investors, and they need to know that maybe the seller doesn't have the wherewithal to replace this. It may be an expense they need to, may need to incur
Right.
before they can close and buy on this home. So,
Do you have some electrician friends, I would imagine, or colleagues that you
Yes.
can probably refer
Are there?
people to
Have
when
you
this comes
seen
up?
any that that'll do the work and then get paid out of closing?
Yes.
You have seen
Yes.
that.
Yes. There are
Okay.
some electricians that will do that.
Okay.
Nice.
That's good to know.
She
So-
knows good. She knows good people.
Yeah, good.
She's got good people.
All right.
Connected.
Enough talking about this whole panel thing, so beware, they're out there, and just know what you're getting into. But next we're going to talk about the flood maps and how they're changing and how it can affect your buyers or sellers. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Joe Stalteri. I'm one of the owners of Complete Care Systems. At Complete Care Systems, we do carpet cleaning, upholstery cleaning, tile and grout sealing, wood floor and laminate floor deep cleaning, as well as stripping and waxing of linoleum and vinyl floors, and a whole lot more. We also run daily deals and special, which you can find at CompleteCareSystems.com, or simply call Tricia up at 727-364-5655 5158, and she'll answer all your questions and give you over the phone free estimates. Or she'll send me out to your home or office to give you an on-site free estimate. At Complete Care Systems, we don't cut corners, we clean them.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.
All right, we're back, everybody, with Miss Denise O'Brien from Holiday Whitco Insurance, and we are very happy to have you on our show as our guest. And we're talking about all the changes. We just covered the electrical panels that we all hate. Now, let's talk about, you know, a big part, you all know, when we qualify people, it's all based on debt ratios, whether they get approved or not.
Right.
And the big part of it is, of course, everybody says, what's my payment? What's my rate? You know, and they look at houses that are older, and I'm like, you know, you don't not only need to know what your mortgage payment itself, principal interest is, but you better know the taxes and you better know the insurance, because those can have a huge impact on whether you can afford a home or not. And I would say partner up with a good insurance person, just like a great mortgage person,
Yes.
to help you and guide you through, along with your real estate professional, to get you through this whole process. So.
And especially in a flood zone and out of a flood
yeah,
zone.
and people, you know, because sometimes flood insurance, and they're like, oh, it's in a flood zone, I can't afford it. Well, not necessarily.
So that means if we had pre-approved them up to $200,000, but the house is in a flood zone and we weren't counting on that, now maybe that approval just came down some because we're adding a payment for flood insurance.
So tell us about the flood situation. What's going on right
Denise,
now?
also known as
The Flood Queen.
the Flood Queen.
Yay. Does that mean you wear pants that are up too high on your legs?
Yes, I do. I have my boots.
I used to get made fun of when I wore corduroys in high school and they were too short. Anyway,
All right,
those
so
were
let's
high
talk
waters.
floods.
That's different.
Yes.
Flood. There's,
Flood.
Basically, you break it down into 3 flood zones. Your V, which are high velocity waves, it's the most expensive. Your A zones, which is moderate flooding, and your X zones, which is not required. It's in a preferred flood zone, which means it's very reasonable. Most of the floods happen in the X zones because people don't expect it to flood. Okay, we have your FEMA flood, and we have our private flood. Sometimes, you know, FEMA is good. When you have a pre-firm home, the pre-firm are homes that were built before the flood maps were in existence.
Oh.
The post-firm
When did flood maps go into existence?
in the 70s and
Okay.
80s.
Okay.
Sorry, 80s.
I didn't realize that.
Yes.
That was
I
when
would
you
have
were-
thought it was like way back. Wow.
And it's different, you know, all over the country. They're remapping now.
Yes, I just heard that they're
Yes.
remapping Pasco and Pinellas anyway have just recently gotten remapped.
So what does
Pasco
that
was
mean?
2014. It means if sometimes you were not in a flood zone, an X zone, which was preferred, and now they remapped it and you're in an A zone, which you have to have flood insurance for your mortgage, which
So
you know that.
is an X zone optional then? If
X
you have-
zone is optional.
So if you're in a flood zone X, you don't necessarily need to have insurance
Right.
to close on a mortgage.
Correct.
Okay.
That's optional. But an A zone and a V zone, you definitely do.
So V is going to be the most expensive.
Right.
A zone second.
Second.
And X, that maybe being optional, being preferred, will be the lowest premium.
Correct.
Okay.
And just for E&O issues, I do quote the FEMA and I quote the private flood and look at what's better. If
Now,
you're
the
in a-
private is new, right? That didn't used to be private.
I've been
well,
doing
not
private
new,
for 4 years now.
but yeah.
So, and I
new
have
to you.
added more companies
Well,
to it.
that's still new, you know.
it's new.
Hasn't been around for a long time.
And the private flood companies have to follow the same form as the FEMA flood. So it's all compliant. So all
Okay.
the mortgage companies should accept it because it's compliant. And usually it's a lot cheaper. For example, a V zone in Gulf Harbors, everybody knows that.
Sure.
The bottom floor is garage only and breakaway walls, meaning when the water comes in, it just breaks the walls away and there's stilts there and it just washes through and doesn't damage the home. FEMA will rate it from the bottom up because it doesn't have total openings because there's walls there. The flood was going to be $9,000.
Oh my gosh.
Private flood company, it was $3,000.
Wow.
because they accept the breakaway walls and rate it from the second floor up. So you got to know the risk and know where to place it. If it's a pre-firm home before the flood maps were in existence and it's in an A zone, I had a client last week, her FEMA flood was $3,400, the private flood was $2,400. She was a happy camper with me.
Wow, $1,000.
$1,000 less.
And similar coverages, I'm assuming.
Very, exactly.
Yeah.
Apple to apple, same deductible.
Okay.
And some of the private flood companies will offer one deductible for the whole policy, contents, and the building, whereas FEMA has the $2,000 deductible for the building and $2,000.
So, in your opinion, because you've been in the insurance industry for some time now, do you feel like there's going to be more private companies
Yes.
so they're getting
Yes.
into the market?
Yes, yes.
Even with the recent, Michael hurricane.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and you were talking about pricing in Florida versus the rest of the country, and
Florida has more flood policies in existence than any other state, and Florida pays more in premiums
Into FEMA.
into FEMA, which covers the whole state. And we looked what happened to Sandy and then Flo, that affected other states but didn't affect Florida. So, I mean, that was billions and billions and billions of dollars.
you notice she brought up women's names with no men. It's all the women's fault out there that we got all this high premium. I'm just being real because I'm the only man on the show.
He's
cost
brave,
more,
isn't
okay?
he? In
He is
between two
brave.
women, he's
Yeah.
brave.
I'm just kidding. Michael was not our friend, so he was a
No.
man.
Yeah,
clearly.
he was a man.
And neither was Andrew, right?
Yes, they were horrible.
Back in 90, or
Yeah.
Yes.
2000
94?
yeah, 94, I think
94,
it was.
92 or 94. However, if you currently have a FEMA flood policy, and this just came down October the 1st, you can cancel your FEMA flood policy if you have a cheaper private flood policy.
Really?
No, she said if. Don't cancel before.
Don't cancel, you got to,
So, does FEMA want people to leave them?
FEMA is undergoing changes. I think FEMA will eventually go to the private sector, is what we're seeing.
Okay.
There's still going to be FEMA there for the policies, kind of like Citizens, that are high risk. They
Right.
have to be there, to protect these people.
Was FEMA originally brought in just
Yes.
for that reason?
Yes.
Like the insurance of last resort type
Exactly.
thing. What
Like
is FEMA?
Citizens.
What does FEMA stand for? Educate. What is it?
Federal Emergency Management Agency. Sorry.
Okay. All right. So it was brought in by the government to say we got to help these people get
Mm-hmm. Right.
flood insurance. Because remember that whole flood? When was that? The whole flood situation where the premiums went through the roof. Was that 12?
Yeah,
or
that was
a few years
2014.
ago.
14.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was 2014.
People were all of a sudden getting quotes for 10,000, 20,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
The policies had to be actuarially rated because they were subsidized by FEMA at a lower rate.
Wow.
And it made some people get,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, we got a lot of more information right after this, so don't go away. We'll be back right after this quick break.
Hi, my name is Joe Stalteri. I'm one of the owners of Complete Care Systems. At Complete Care Systems, we do carpet cleaning, upholstery cleaning, tile and grout sealing, wood floor and laminate floor deep cleaning, as well as stripping and waxing of linoleum and vinyl floors, and a whole lot more. We also run daily deals and special, which you can find at CompleteCareSystems.com, or simply call Trisha up at 727-364-5158, and she'll answer all your questions and give you over the phone free estimates. Or she'll send me out to your home or office to give you an on-site free estimate. At Complete Care Systems, we don't cut corners, we clean them.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.
All right, we're back with the world famous, well, soon to
queen.
be famous after this, the queen of flood insurance.
Yes.
Now we know why they call you the
Now
queen
we
of
do
flood.
know why. She's got this stuff inside out here.
It's Denise O'Brien with Holiday Whitco Insurance, in case
she was-
you were under a rock and not following us. Now,
She was saying even like some of the agencies are calling you, right? State
Yes.
Farm and some of the other
Yes.
insurers are calling you about, because you got this stuff. What did you say?
It's like algebra. Once you get it, you got it.
or maybe you don't
So
want to
the
get
queen
it.
of algebra via flood insurance.
All right, so let's touch, because we're running out of time here, and we got a lot of great more information.
Yes.
Forced placed insurance. You know, I've had people call me that,
yes.
you know, I mean, we don't see it as much now on the lending side because we force people to pretty much carry escrows
Right.
and pay their insurance. But there was a time where people were letting their insurance drop,
Right.
and they would get what we call forced placed insurance. And they're like, I had someone tell me, well, it was cheaper than my other policy, so I left it in place. So give us your take on that. What does that mean when they get forced placed insurance?
Forced placed insurance only covers the amount of the mortgage. So if you have a $200,000 house and you have $50,000 in forced place insurance, they're going to pay that mortgage off and you're left with nothing.
So there's
Doesn't
no,
So all
even
your
cover
there's
stuff
no
contents,
personal
no nothing.
contents, so it's not a good way to go.
No.
And it's a fortune, right?
Yes.
Who do they underwrite those through? Any of the agencies you use, or is it
No.
somebody totally different?
Isn't it-
Yeah.
Totally different that the mortgage companies get.
Yeah.
No, but we don't see it too often
Bottom
anymore.
line,
Good
don't
thing.
tell your clients, do not ever let their insurance lapse.
Yeah, it's a
ever.
bad idea. And what else? Anything else we need to share with our viewers
with
that
them?
you can think of that's relevant to what's going on in the industry right now?
If you're in the map change area, check with your agent and you may want to get an elevation certificate. If you get an elevation certificate and you're higher than 2 feet, you may want to file for a LOMA, a letter of map amendment, taking you out of the flood zone.
Oh.
Or it could be just like your backyard, just a corner is in the flood zone, and they will state that on here, on the elevation
I know
certificate.
people, I know people who
that's
have
good.
llamas for pets.
Llama. I love llamas.
Oh, you said llama. Sorry.
Okay,
I heard
so
they're great though. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
llamas or lomas?
Lomas.
Both.
Or
They're both
Lomar.
good.
Both are great.
Or Lomar. Just check with your agent and she'll hook you up with a surveyor. It has to be a surveyor.
And that's what I was going to
Now,
say. Tell them
here-
how do they get an
Can I-
elevation certificate?
Let me ask you a dumb question.
A surveyor.
Yes.
Let's just suppose they get an elevation certificate and it's
Right.
lower. What do you do? Yeah. Okay.
Then you pretend you don't have that.
then you
elevation.
then you try private flood because sometimes they are cheaper. I do have a company that I do private flood with, and somehow they know the elevations of the homes. So
they're-
Beacon Woods,
So you
Seven
can
Springs.
get a quote now without a
Yes.
certificate of
Yes.
elevation.
Yes. Just
Wow.
call your agent first and say,
Okay.
what do you
That's
think?
what I figured. You know, actually, I think I just told somebody that because they were. He's a veteran, so he's going to USAA, and I said, you know, a lot of the local people,
Yes.
they know because Beacon Woods, for example, they
Right.
know that what the elevation is there because you
Right.
insured half the houses there,
Yes.
probably. Yeah.
Interesting.
You drive down the street, I have that one, and that one.
Yeah,
and that one.
right. So, all right. So they elevation certificate. Even if they're not in a flood zone,
They can still buy flood insurance and they can still flood. For an example, in an X zone, if you have a $250,000 home, $100,000 in contents, your flood insurance for the year is roughly going to be $458. So,
Wow, that's pretty rough.
so that's
That's
29
rough.
cents too.
$458 for the entire year.
And just so
That's cheap.
just so our viewers are
X-zone.
clear. So
Right.
if there's a flood,
Yes.
all right, I'm told, your washing machine hose comes off.
Oh no.
Covered by homeowners insurance.
Homeowners insurance.
Rainwater pours in through,
Homeowners.
okay? But if
Flood is rising waters.
So rising waters
That
comes
goes back
in.
down.
So if rising
So
waters
the
come
street
into your
floods
home
and
Yes.
it
from
creeps
rain,
up.
a big
Yes.
storm, or you're not covered under your normal homeowner's insurance.
Correct.
So if that water comes into the house, I'm not covered.
Correct.
And like you were saying, we had come through by a year or two ago, Storm Debbie.
Yeah, tropical storm.
Another
storm.
woman. Sorry.
I trust me, ladies. I will kill him when this is over.
Both of us.
Just kidding.
But a lot of the areas that did end up flooding from the sewers, couldn't handle it, and they did not have flood insurance, right? And it could have been dirt cheap. So that's why you're saying,
Yes.
Wow.
get it.
Protection.
Hey, a lot of great information. Thanks, Denise, for sharing that. Let's move on to our community events that's going on in the community. What do you got going on, DeLynn?
I don't know. What do you got?
I got a lot of stuff.
Nothing.
I got two things. Let's talk about WPBA real quick.
Yes.
Go on WPBA.biz for all this information. But West Pasco Business Association, we got two events coming up.
We do.
We have November 10th. We have our Lightning bus trip, which I think it's 100% sold out.
Yeah,
Sorry,
sold out.
but it's still out there. We got the Grinch coming up, and it's pre-sale right now for the Grinch. So the first 100 tickets sold will be at the $35 price. The countdown's on. People are already buying them.
Because already 25 of those are gone. I know that for a fact.
Well, see,
I got the
there you go.
update last night.
There
So
you
25
go.
of those are gone already. So there's only 75 left at the $35 price.
and then they're going to go up to
After that, it goes up.
$45. So don't wait. Get them now. Denise, I know you're really involved in the community. Do you have anything you want
Yes.
to talk about? Maybe
Junior Service League, November 15th at the
Those-
Spartan Manor.
that's when you wear your little red
Our
jacket.
little red gloves.
Yes, yes.
Our
it's
red
so-
glove ladies are dancing with the local stars.
Ooh, I know about that.
10th annual. You were a contestant.
I do. I'm not a dancer. You know, she said you weren't a dancer. You were a contestant. I was.
Dancer.
But he did great. You did great. You really
you.
did. And then
He got the
November
sympathy
2nd,
vote.
All right.
November 2nd, the
nice.
Deaf and Hard of Hearing at Seven Springs Golf and Country Club. They're doing a wine tasting.
Oh, I know about
when is
that
that? I
event.
didn't know about that one. November
Yes,
7th?
November 2nd.
2nd. Okay. We always have such great stuff going on in this community, don't we?
We do.
Amazing.
I know.
They
Amazing.
give back so much, and WPBA I think is one of the biggest ones. And thank you guys for sponsoring Bowling for Boobs.
Yes.
That was a
Wonderful
great
event.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
So get all this great information out, share it, like us on Facebook, we're on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, we're all over. And however you got our show, forward it if you got an email, tell your friends about us because we're
That's
pretty
right.
cool. We
Tell your
think we're
realtors
cool.
about us too.
Yeah.
And we're funny. At least we think we are.
Well,
Thank you everybody for watching. We appreciate you. We are today and every day.
Moving forward.
We'll see y'all next week.
have a great week, everybody.
Bye-bye.